bread.
I tell you what, there's nothing better in the world than the smell of flesh. Or we
Yeah,
can't
you
even
got
speak.
it from me.
That's, by the way, that's us salivating at the thought of eating this. Yes, excuse
you
us.
Are so right.
Pardon me. It's so simple to use, Callie, because you don't have to be a master baker.
Mine just broke too, so I'm going to get this one.
Oh, you are going to absolutely love the way this works. Now, we're sending you home with all of these recipes. There's 19 different recipes in total. It's all right here. This is what you do. You're going to follow the instructions. You pour in some water. Then it's going to tell you how much yeast to put in. Then it's going to tell you how much sugar to put in. You just dump it all in just like this. Then you pop in the flour, right? And then on top, you pop in the salt. Now, different recipes will have you add slightly different ingredients. You're going to close the lid. I'm going to keep it open so you get to see it. You press the start button. Can you see inside there? I don't know whether we've got a...
We're going to
get a shot.
Get over.
And we're going to show you that because it's starting to knead, right? So what the bread maker is going to do for you, first it's going to knead, then it's going to proof, then it's going to bake. So it does absolutely everything. We're just getting our camera in place right now, and you can see how that's kneading already, right? Brings that mixture together. Great job, guys. Our camera crew works so tirelessly, don't they?
It's crazy.
But you don't have to think about it. So you just press the button, you come back to perfectly baked bread like this. So this is the country loaf, right? You're just going to go ahead, twist that, pull that whole piece out.
It's a 2-pound loaf.
And then it'll be warm when you first take it out, so just wrap that with a little towel, like I am. Now, you might see that dough hook that was in the bottom. That's going to be in the bottom. So what we do is we give you a little hook for that.
Stop it,
right?
really?
So we give you that little hook, and all you're going to do is just take that out.
Cool.
Right, so you remove that. You can see that beautiful crust that you get all the way.
Gorgeous.
Look at that caramelization.
Beautifully browned.
And then I'm using my cordless electric knife, which so many of you already have. Have a look at that steamy. I don't know whether you can see that steam, but I tell you what, there is nothing better than a slice of perfect bread where you get that gorgeous crust on the outside.
When you know the ingredients that you're putting in there, you can, you know, if you looked at the ingredients on most bread loaves that you can buy in your grocery store, it's kind of horrendous.
Oh yeah, Kelly.
The preservatives and the things you can't pronounce.
You want to tell someone you love them, invite them round and bake bread. And I mean, they walk into your house, they smell it. Go ahead, Kelly.
Oh, you're so good, Timmy.
The flavour is so incredibly good. I'm going to move over here and get my next loaf out, which is multigrain. You can do so many different. There's a cinnamon raisin that we're going to give you to try. There's all sorts of different loaves. Brioche, gluten-free, of course. Oh, that's hot. Let me just lift that off. Of course, you'll let it cool a little bit. You won't be doing a live demo when you get this at home. But look at that beautiful crust that you get on the outside. Now, you can cut it lengthways like I am, or you can sit it down and you can cut it. This is a more traditional way, of course, to cut your bread. So if you're going to do sandwiches, for instance, you might want to cut it in this direction. And
I love the idea of using the your knife.
Isn't that great? It's a great knife to use because it makes life so easy. Now, this one's actually a brioche that we've done with walnut and cranberry. I beg your pardon. This is my walnut and cranberry. The brioche is next. Let me just show you how easy this is. It literally just falls out just like that. You pick it on up. Let me go ahead and carve on through it. Now, it is picnic season around the corner. You will be making sandwiches. You always want to be making sandwiches with beautiful fresh bread. Another great thing that this bread maker does that a lot don't is you can see how it distributes the fruit really evenly and all of the flavour really evenly. Sometimes you'll get these bread makers and all the fruit will be down the bottom.
You're right.
Because it sinks, it doesn't proof it the right way, and that's really important.
And you know what? You've probably spent like 50 cents in ingredients. But, you know, think about, I mean, all the ingredients and the recipes that you're getting to be able to make all the variations that we're, you know, kind of giving you a sampling of here. But it's pennies a loaf.
I'm sorry, Kelly, I know I don't have time to be buttering each one. This is just purely selfish. I can't help myself. Oh, yeah.
Gotta love a chef who eats his own food and makes his own bread. By the way, we have the black and the red. Do you see this price?
Yum.
It's under $100. It's normally almost $160.
Wow.
And there's free shipping.
I didn't know that.
On it. Oh, and there's 5 flex on this. Holy smokes, this night is getting better by the minute. And
this is free shipping? But
free shipping.
Oh my goodness,
free
that's
shipping.
Crazy.
Yep.
Well, grab it while you can, you guys. Now look at this. I've done a cheddar jalapeno.
Ooh.
If you like cornbread, this makes the most fantastic cornbread. You can see how I can just slice on through. So I'm cutting around the bread makers here. but you can see how beautiful. You can look at the flavours swirled on through there, right? And look at that steamy bread. I mean, I tell you, it's so hard to concentrate. If you could smell our studio right now, this could be your home, by the way. You could be waking up, and it actually has a delay function too, so you can put it all in at night time, press a button, come down in the morning at 8 o'clock, and the bread's perfectly baked. So you can,
I mean,
isn't that unbelievable?
seriously. There is nothing better than the smell of homemade bread. It brings me straight back to my grandparents. Being at the farm, my grandmother was the best bread maker, but she didn't have a bread maker to do all the hard work for her. Boy, has times changed, and I love it. The size is the perfect size, too.
It really is.
A 2-pounder.
A 2-pounder. Now, you can make a large loaf or a small loaf. That's
true.
Totally up to you, and we walk you through all of that when you get it home in the instructions. So for every single recipe that we've preset, because all of the recipes are preset in here, and it's very, very simple to use. Go read the reviews on it, you guys. This is a raisin bread that I've done. By the way, I want to show you really quickly. See this board that I'm using? One of the great ways, now you can be cutting vegetables and pushing the vegetables in here, and then when you want to take them out, they just pull right out. If you're using it for bread, the thing that I love about it is all of the crumbs that are inevitable. Oh my goodness, look at this bread. Right, you can cut it thin, you can cut it thick. It's totally up to you. Now, of course, when you want to just get rid of those crumbs, you just push them down.
That's so cool.
Isn't that a great
Again, just a great idea. There it is on the screen, 865-839 to get the acacia wood workstation. It comes with that micro sheet pan as well.
It sure does. Oh, which, by the way, you can use that micro sheet pan for baking as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I've got to show you this pizza dough. There's a setting for pizza dough. We give you the instructions. All you do is chuck it all in and press a button, right? And then this comes out. So when you want to make your own homemade pizzas, you don't have to go to the store. It's a bit sticky.
I'm so excited to get this.
Isn't it so great?
I had a bread maker. I had it for years and years, and I used it to its death.
Right.
And I literally just went to make a loaf of bread a couple weeks ago, and it's broken. So I've been in the market, and I am so excited to get this one at this price, especially.
But look at this, see those bubbles? That's what a great pizza dough has, right? Because it's nice and airy. You're going to stretch this out and put it into one of your DuraPans, and you'll be making your own pizzas. So very, very simple and easy. You certainly don't need to be an expert. That's going to go. I'd carry on, but I don't have the tray. But it's so easy to use. So whether you're doing pizza dough, making yogurt, there's so many great things, Cal, that you'll be using. I want to just
jump around to the front to show you how it's all right here. I mean, there's 19 different options of different breads that you can make. It's all listed right here, and it's one touch of a button. It's all laid out so beautifully. You can see you can make a little 1-pounder, 1.5 pound, a 2-pound, and it gives you so many options, and so does the booklet that comes along with it. I'm looking at all the different recipes that you've shared with us. I mean, the express bread, whole wheat, crusty French bread, multi-grain, currant and walnut you just saw, the brioche, I love that. We saw the jalapeno cheddar bread, gluten-free bread, so popular these days. You can do it at home. Sourdough bread. Maple pecan bread.
Oh yeah, delicious.
Italian.
You know, when it comes to that pizza, I'm going to actually go all the way and show it to you, because you'll just stretch this pizza dough out, right? Now this is that little sheet pan. I'd use a bigger sheet pan, but let's just do a tiny little guy for you. This is like pizza for one. You just stretch that pizza dough out. You can be quite tough with it. Once you've got it to a pretty good size, you then just sort of push it into the bottom of the pan, knowing that the DuraPan nothing sticks. If you want a thicker crust, leave it thicker. If you like it really thin and crispy, use a little bit less of the dough. Then you'll put your tomatoes, then you'll put your cheese, then you'll put your toppings, and you toss that in the oven. So yes, it's a bread maker, but I tell you what, when you're able to make, if we just sold you a pizza dough maker, you'd be very happy, and for less than $100.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
I didn't realize that the bubbling, or you can see this is signature to pizza dough.
That's the proofing, which happens here. You can even make yogurt. We have a yogurt
make
seed.
jams, yogurt,
make jams,
rice pudding.
So this is a homemade yogurt, so you can see it right here. Right now, of course, you're going to serve that with some berries. Maybe you'll put a little granola. The difference between a homemade yogurt and one that you buy in the store, first of all, the nutritionals are off the charts when you make it yourself. But the flavour of homemade, you're like, oh, this is what yogurt's meant to taste like. Now I know why it's so good. And you're totally in control of what you put in.
I'm just looking at the homemade yogurt recipe right here.
There
You
it
get
is.
the recipe. That is awesome. Vanilla pound cake. You know what? I might try to make a vegan yogurt too. My son's vegan. I might try it with some of
Keep
those
talking, Cal.
alternative, cashew milk, almond milk, all the other things. I don't know how that'll turn out. I think whole milk is probably the best way to go for a good yogurt.
My goodness, it's
But
so
in
good.
either case, all the things you can do with this.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, there's red or there's black. There's
Rice
only a couple
pudding.
hundred of each, and I know we've got a clock on the screen. We have very few of these.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna go for the black. I'm so excited about this tonight.
It's so good. Here's the rice pudding. This is another great setting that we have for you. So it's a beautiful, beautiful recipe. And again, you'll finish this with a little crunchies, maybe some fruit. Beautiful way to serve it. So, yes, it's a bread maker, but it's so much more than that. And this isn't me just getting inventive. These are functions that are built in. They're listed here. They're listed in the recipe book.
Yeah.
I want to come back to that recipe book because we're serving 19 different recipes. Here's one of the jams, by the way, one of the recipes. So you can make jam in this too. And again, all you do is follow the instructions. It couldn't be simpler.
You get the jam recipe as well.
Yeah.
And from
see how it's batched, the recipes? See how it's
Yeah,
got
oh,
the
yeah.
big and the smaller size bread?
So, oh my gosh, my mouth is watering all over again. And I've just gotten done eating turkey burgers, beef burgers, bread,
Oh, yeah.
salmon. It's just been one of those great nights, and what a great way to end it. You said it, it's not just a bread maker.
Yeah. It's not. Well, look, this is a care and use manual, right? So it tells you all about the machine. But here in the back start the recipes. And then each recipe, you can see each line. This will give you a 2-pound loaf. This will give you a 1.5-pound loaf, and that'll give you a 1-pound loaf. So you choose the size of the bread. You can choose whether you want a darker crust or a lighter crust. It's very customizable. So once you understand your own preferences, and these are all the recipes that I've shown you most of. This is the brioche, by the way. Wow, that brioche is so good. And normally you spend a fortune on brioche.
I know, you do.
For anyone that's
Parmesan herb.
gluten-free, this is your machine. The